This weekend, you got the West coming over to meet the East.
The big match is upon us.
Doesn't have a lot of respect for the game.
Fuck the West.
He lacks consistency in his game. Whoa, wizard!
We're committed to the craft. We're committed to the grind.
I don't think it's going to be a good time for people in the Western Conference.
Mid-range will be dialed in. Putting will be dialed in.
I'm not sure I'd ever seen someone play disc golf that poorly.
He can't have a good game. He can surprise people.
You know what they say, driving for show, putting for dough.
The Western Division is not getting in their car on Saturday, driving 5 hours to Buhlow to the east, and gonna beat us. It's not gonna happen.
So when it comes down to East versus West, remember this. Brandon will have the best disc and the best bag, but he won't have the best score. Neither will Jake, neither will Hayden.
I look forward to this challenge.
See you Saturday. You're not gonna beat us. What's up, Mustard Tigers? We're about 20 hours away now from tee time. Looks like Ryan's gonna be showing up alone, which isn't great for him.
I just got word that Chase isn't going to be able to make it. Looks like he's got the vid or some kind of a cold or asthma. I'm not sure.
I think he might be a little nervous, a little scared.
Does Chase not being there add more pressure? Yeah, of course.
He doesn't really know what he's walking into.
I'll be the only one there from the West, and it just feels like I'm walking into some kind of an ambush.
I think it's going to be a beat down from the East.
For the West, honestly, this is probably just one of the worst things that could happen prior to the match itself. He's got the #1 spot in the West right now, and he's not going to be able to make it. I'm the underdog in the West, and I'm certainly the underdog in the whole thing.
Fourth, we got Ryan.
I'm heading to my last game right now, and I'm just going to try to get as many reps in as possible, get everything dialed in.
Third and second, I think it's going to be close, but I'm going to give Brandon the edge.
These guys think they're going to have an easy go of it, honestly.
I think there's going to be a pretty decent gap between third and fourth with Ryan.
I'll do my best to make sure that's not the case. Keep it competitive. Give the West some respect, because apparently they don't have none.
So I'll go Jake 3.
Jake is like he tries to get in your head. Brandon used to putt with a putter called a wizard, and Jake would do this thing like whenever he'd miss a putt, he'd be like, whoa, wizard.
Whoa, wizard!
Brandon can't use that putter no more. It fucked with him so much. He had to get a new putter, just to get Jake to stop. And does he stop? No. He still says it. Doesn't even use a wizard anymore. He still says it.
Brandon second. Of course, I'm going to put myself #1 spot. I'll see you boys out there. Don't be late. Get your warm-up throws in before 8 o'clock. And I'll see you on the tee box.
Hi guys, welcome to the Battle of Buhlow, the much anticipated match between friends from the East and the West. Hole 1 is going to be 204 feet, par 3. So it kind of goes through this one little gap you got to hit, and it kind of dog legs to the right. What you don't want to do is go high like Brandon just did there. So a really rough start for Brandon, not what you want to do. Jake doesn't do much better, so he goes to the left. The thing with Jake is he just gets a real lucky kick, and it gets him right to the right over by the basket. So he's got an actual look for a birdie. Hayden just goes exactly where you don't want to go, way over there. Luckily, he gets hit by an early tree, doesn't get too deep in the rough. Kanan was a late ad for the East. He is Jake's brother. He throws a decent shot, just not enough power to get it deep enough into the woods. I threw a really pretty shot. I used an understable fairway driver, but I was able to get real deep back there, almost too deep. Luckily, one of the trees stopped me from going too much further. There's a lot of mud back there. Hayden going for his birdie here. Unable to connect, but he's able to definitely get it close enough to hit his par. Here's that birdie look that Jake had. Not able to connect with it. It was really cold out there. It made your fingers numb. Really bad for putting. It's probably about 29, 30 degrees maybe. Early morning. That's my shot for birdie. Nobody was able to get a birdie. Brandon ended up with a bogey. Everybody else was even. Hole 2 is going to be 186 feet. It's a par 3. You got to go through this little gap and it dog legs left. The main thing you want to do here is just get a stable to overstable disc, mid-range to fairway driver, and really drive it through there and let it carry it back in the woods. Kanan's able to make the gap, but he just hooks it when it goes right. You really want it to go left and travel as far left as possible if you want a shot at a birdie. Hayden makes a pretty decent shot. He's definitely going to have a birdie look. Everybody's able to make it through this gap, which surprises me. How cold it is, how early we were. You know, this is just hole 2, but we're all able to make the gap on this one. Brandon makes a decent little shot, little flutter there.
That good.
All right, now this is going to be Brandon's birdie putt. Wasn't able to give it a real good go. He's close enough to get his par pretty easily, but it just wasn't a good go at it. Kanan had some stuff in his way, had to go around and made for an awkward route to get there. Now I had a shot, probably about a 30-footer in, not able to connect, went just beyond it. Hayden is able to connect, and that's our first birdie of the day. Jake probably had the easiest shot at his bird and was able to get it. Brandon lands his par. I'm able to get my par. So Hayden and Jake jump out to an early lead with 1 under. Everybody else even except for Brandon, who ended up with the bogey on the first hole. This hole is 181 feet. It's a par 3. Again, the big thing here is you just want to make that gap. So you got that one tree right in front of you. You want to go to the left of that, and then just kind of hook it on back there. Hayden just completely misses the gap. Kanan pretty much does the same exact thing. So a real pretty little shot. I just went a little too high with it. I tend to do that when I try to slow myself down as I
yeah, that was pretty.
By throwing a little high. I wish I would have gotten deeper back there, but overall pretty decent shot. Should have no problem getting a par from there. Brandon misses the gap.
Gonna be a tough day for Melons.
Left, which is not where you want to be right here. As you can see right here, just not a clean route there at all. Does a pretty good job getting up there though.
Oof.
Hayden throws a decent little shot. Kanan, on the other hand, not so much. So I have a clean look at my birdie putt. I got some trees just before that I end up hitting. I always kind of aim over there, and I had no problem hitting the trees there. I was like, either I'm going to hit the trees or not, but it's not going to go far, so I went with the safe route and went that way and ended up paying the price. Brandon makes a decent little putt there.
Good putt.
Hayden sinks his putt. He did really well with the cold on his fingers. He putted really well that day. Everybody else seemed to be really frustrating themselves with their putting early on, but he did really well. So Kanan and Hayden are now +1. I'm at even, and Jake and Hayden are 1 under.
It's his home course, he knows.
This hole is 246 feet. It's a par 3. Again, you just want to make this gap. You want to hug as close as you can to those trees on the left, and you want that disc to turn.
Good shot.
Pretty hard angle, but it can be done. Jake throws a pretty decent shot there.
Big skip.
Now my shot here got about as close as to those trees as you can possibly get without smacking them. But I knew once I got past those trees it was going to be a good shot. I threw a really overstable fairway driver and it was going to make that angle. Melons gets close to those trees over there, but his disc never turns. Kanan the same fate as hole 2.
I found it though.
Throws that forehand.
The way your
wraps
ambidextrous is,
right.
but you can't use it to help you.
No matter what. They turn to the right.
So Kanan's ambidextrous on his throws, but he can only throw a forehand with his right hand and a backhand with his left hand. So he ends up going right no matter what.
Good up.
Hayden going for his birdie.
Good try.
Unable to give himself a real chance at that one. Jake gives himself a better chance but falls short. And I just miss wide right. Not my best looking putt. I can always blame it on that cold out there. It's just so cold, so windy, so wet. Everybody got a par on that one except Kanan, putting him up +2. Hole 5 is going to be 283 feet. It's a par 3. This one kind of goes downhill. There's 2 routes. You can go the left route or then there's a small hallway to the right. Hayden's going to go that left route. It's a lot more open over there. You don't have to hit that small gap, but there's no clear defined route. You know, there's always something that can get in your way. Jake goes for the right hallway and just unable to make it really far down there. Hits a tree. I choose to go for the right hallway as well. I go way too high, and you know, of course, it's just going to smack into a tree over there. I needed to get it down and a little bit to the left, and I would have been okay, but it's just very unfortunate. I hit one of the first trees out there. Brennan throws a decent little shot.
Oh, it's rolling.
Kanan kind of the same fate as me, like he just went too high, but he's got a lot more room to boogie over there on the left. I came way short, and you can see that hallway pretty well. At the end of that hallway, the basket's on the left. So I throw an overstable fairway driver, and I put some anhyzer on it. It turns right near it. I wish I would have got it lower, but it is going downhill. It's hard to keep it too low and get that turn in there. Jake ends up hitting a tree on his approach shot, which leaves him in a very tough position to get his par. Kanan throws a nice little up shot. Kanan throws a decent one as well. It just goes a little too far. Not very safe in these cold conditions. So this is Jake's par shot. Definitely not what he wanted there. This is for my par, about a 25-foot shot. I'm able to nail it and save my par there. This is Jake's bogey shot, so this is going to put him back at even. Kanan gets his par. Hayden gets his par.
Oh, Brandon's still throwing.
And Brandon gets his par. So that puts Hayden in the lead by himself at 1 under. Me and Jake are even. This hole's 350 foot. It's par 3. You have a row of trees on the left that you want to go to the right of, and you want it to just hyzer into this little pocket. You don't want to go too far though, because there is a slight slope going down. If you hit it too hard, you'll just kind of fly off the edge, and you got some room to run there. Throw an overstable distance driver. I wish I would have gone more on the left side. I really played this one safe. Had I done this shot but just a little to the left, I really would have been in the pocket. Brandon throws a forehand with a lot of anhyzer, and it puts him probably about 80 feet away from the hole. Jake throws a really nice shot here.
Yeah, that throw
Really
don't count
straight.
for being me up there.
That's a stroke.
Distance driver that was able to hyzer in a little bit. Canyon goes with the forehand as well and just ends up a lot further from the basket than he wanted to be. So it's over there just on top of the hill. Canyon hits a tree on the way in. Not happy with that shot. Brandon throws a forehand approach shot, and it's just a beautiful shot that goes right into the basket. One of the best shots of the day. Aiden throws a real safe shot. Doesn't want to go beyond that little hill and go down. Jake does the same thing, puts it right under the basket. I'll go for a run for the hole. I'm here to win for the West, so I definitely want to make a run at it. I go a little bit further than I like, but it's safe enough where I feel pretty good about making that putt, and I do. So Hayden's still 1 under. Jake, Ryan, Brandon are even, and Kane is +3. Hole 7 is a super long 535-foot par 4. You got this big field with one tree in the fairway down there on the right. I just want to avoid that and get as close to that tree line as possible. The tree line is probably about 350, 375 feet away. Would take a big shot to get there. That's the shot you want to make. You just want it a good bit further. Now the wind was really ripping, so I didn't use the disc that really gave me my distance. I ended up using a disc that fights the wind really well, but right when I stepped to the tee pad, the wind just stopped. So I was able to get a really straight shot, ended up right next to Hayden down there. Kanan just rips it way too low. He's not able to get the distance he really needs for this long hole. So this is his long approach shot. Now he's able to do a pretty good job getting in these woods. As you can see, there's no real route you can take here. There's trees everywhere. So you just try to keep it as low as possible so it doesn't hit the branches up top. You got more of a chance the lower you are. And just try to work it through there up as far as you can, as deep as you can get it. Unfortunately, I just went a little too high and ended up hitting one of the first trees. Hayden's played this course a lot. He keeps it real low, gets it in there, but just a little too far right. Now I make a really high shot. I saw one little path and I was able to hit that path. I used a really overstable distance driver and put a lot of hyzer on it. I was able to wrap around those trees and get up there. Brandon threw a nice little shot and got up there as well. Same with Caden. Jake goes for the jump putt. Doesn't really give himself a chance for the basket, but he's able to get up there.
Ooh!
He really wanted to get some more distance. Now this is where the cold is really coming in. I'm not able to connect with the center of the basket and it just bounces right out. Jake just completely misses the entire thing. He's a pretty short putt.
Good putt.
But it is cold out there. Hayden again hits his putt.
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.
So Hayden's 1 under. Brandon's now even. Jake and Ryan are +1. And Kanan, I believe, is +3. Kind of went a little too fast for him. Hole 8 is 238 feet. It's a par 3. Now this is a really tough shot. Very small window to get through. Trees everywhere. You can see that path kind of going up the middle there. You really got to rip it. Now Hayden throws just about as perfect of a shot as you can get through there. Went straight through, hooked to the left, gave himself a chance for a birdie, but all you want is a clean look. Kanan just goes way too far right. He's in those woods. He's looking for it right now. Now Jake throws a pretty good shot too. He gets on up there and he'll have a look at a birdie. But these long putts just aren't our friend this morning. Now I go Yeah, I pull mine just too far right, and there's no way it can get through there. It hits one of those trees and then bounces across the path over to the left. Brandon throws a tomahawk and is able to get up on top of the hill, but just way too far left. Kanan tries the same thing, gets chopped down by a tree. I'm able to get through with my tomahawk. Now, I'm not too sure what's up there. I'm not familiar with this course. Brandon throws his approach shot. Probably a little too far away than he'd like. Jake unable to connect with his birdie putt. Hayden the same. Can't blame anybody for missing those putts this morning. Hayden goes with the layup. I really wanted to hit this, but again, wide right. All morning I've been to the right, unable to make the adjustments I need. Hayden able to get his par, and I'm stuck with another bogey. So I go to +2. Jake, Brandon still at +1. Hayden 1 under. Hole 9 is 404 feet, par 3. You gotta go down this hill, and there's a really big woods line over to the right. Just don't want to be too close to that woods line. Hayden does a really safe shot down the middle. Jake probably goes a lot more left than he wants to. He was able to put a little anhyzer on there and get it to kind of travel right, but you can tell he just did not want to be that far left. Now Brandon throws a really good shot here, puts a little anhyzer on the forehand and kind of travels down and ends up wrapping back around right. And he's just right at the turn over there, so almost dangerous being that close to the woods, but he's able to place it in a really good spot where he's got a shot at the pin. I throw a backhand with some anhyzer, and I'm hoping that thing will just kind of turn and catch that new lane and just travel, but I end up with a good shot, just not as good as I had hoped. Kanan throws his forehand right down the middle, good safe shot. He and Kanan end up right next to each other. Jake going with his forehand approach. Not a bad shot, but with this weather, he's probably going to wish he was a little bit closer. Brandon gave himself a nice little run there. Hayden might have gone a little too far with that one. Hayden looks like he's running up to throw a bomb and then just stops.
So gentle.
But he throws a pretty good shot there. I go with this new disc I have from Discmania. It's a MD4, super heavy, mid-range, overstable. Still getting used to it, but I like the way it flies.
Terrible.
Jake ends up going wide right. Hayden's able to get his par again. Hayden's still at 1 under. Brandon 1 over. Jake and Ryan +2.
Hayden's 1 under. I'm 1 over. Jake and Ryan are both 2 over. Kanan's 4 over.
Hayden leading the card. How's the day going for you?
Pretty good. I think I'm bogey free right now. It's still pretty cold. Hands are cold, but getting the job done. So.
Everything going about how you predicted, or?
I think so. Just about. I think I had me first, Brandon second, Jake third, but Ryan's definitely impressing today, so showing up good for the West.
Kanan, you were a late addition to the card. You came to East. How's the day going for you?
It's not going good. I'm doing pretty bad. I'm in last right now. My prediction is at the end, I'll probably still be in last.
Brandon, how's the day going?
It's going good. I'm some good shots, some terrible shots, about normal. Just playing, having fun.
You had a big shot earlier. You think that turned your day around?
I mean, I expect that.
Jake, the day's probably not going how you had hoped. What's going on?
Rough day, cold, just not playing my game. Feels like it's falling apart. The East is holding up the way I suspected. The West is playing out of its ass a little bit, but we'll see. The East will come out on top, but I got a lot of work to do the rest of the day.
What's your score right now?
+2.
What's my score?
I don't know.
It's +2.
Is it +2?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And how long you been playing seriously?
Never really. You've been playing serious more than I ever have.
Well, I started when you came in for the bachelor party in what is it, November?
Yeah. I mean, I have.
That's when I started playing seriously.
I have work and stuff, so I can't just dedicate all the time that I have to disc golf 24/7.
Okay.
I'm not able to play as much as you, but you know, I feel like I'll be able to come out on top today.
All right, good.
Hole 10 is 297 feet. It's a par 3. This is probably one of the coolest holes I think at Buhlow. You got a path over the river, and then you have a further path to the left. Hayden likes to go to the path to the left. He throws a pretty decent shot out there.
It's a good throw.
Forehand that kind of is able to wrap around.
Good layup.
You can see the pin through that gap just to the right of Brandon. Now Brandon just puts way too much anhyzer on it, way too low, and he is not in a place he wants to be right there. I'm kind of surprised that all these guys from the east, with this being their home course, that they all chose to go that route. None of them chose to go to the river. Kanan, the same thing, same route. Now he hugs way too close to the trees and he gets caught off in them. Now, I'm a little concerned because nobody chose to go that route, but I decided I can make this shot. Now, out of the hand, it was way too high.
Needs to get left.
I was definitely concerned at that point that I was going to lose a stroke, lose a disc, but it ends up turning in there and being a decent shot. Brandon overshoots the basket, ends up in the rough out there.
Oh.
Kanan just went from one hedge to the next. Hayden hits the only limb hanging between him and that basket. He finds it. Now, I gave myself a real decent shot for this putt. This is about a 40-45 footer. I'm just not able to connect with it. Jake had a really good shot,
we can edit that.
but a really bad putt. But he should be able to par from there. Hayden gets his first bogey of the day. That's going to put him even. Jake gets his par. Brandon gets his par. I get my par. And then Kanan's able to get his bogey. So Hayden's even. Brandon, Jake, Ryan +2. Kanan +5. Hole 11 is 354 feet. It's a par 3. Pretty straightforward hole. Over to the right is going to be a big line of trees and a river beyond that. Just want to go straight down here and hyzer it on in. I put way too much hyzer on mine. I wish I would have done a flatter shot. It would have been
down there.
much better. Would have had the distance I needed. Now Jake was able to throw a really flat shot here. Just doesn't have the arm strength to get it down there. You'll kind of see that a lot in these guys from the east. They just don't have the arm strength to do what they want to do. Hayden just kind of grip locks his and it just goes right towards that tree. Now the good thing is that it did hit the tree. If it would have made its way through somehow, he would have been in the river and that would have cost him a stroke rather than just a poor shot.
Roadrunner.
Mellon unable to connect with the forehand. And Kanan throws the forehand way too high and it looks like it's heading straight for the river.
Red River.
Not looking good at all. Now Brandon really gives himself a chance. I thought he was going to repeat what he did earlier, nail this putt. But it just goes beyond the basket. Gave himself a really nice shot. Hayden with a good shot.
Jay, come save your brother.
Kanan somehow did not lose his disc. I don't know how that thing didn't go. It makes its way through all that and just stops right on the bank. He's got no choice but just to put it out there on the fairway and try to get it on the next one. Jake with his birdie shot. Decent look. And Brandon just, that tree between him and the basket was too much to overcome. Hayden with the easy par. Jake with his easy par. Kanan with another bogey. That puts Hayden even. Jake, Ryan +2. Brandon +3. Kanan +6. So this is a little different. We played the first 11 on the purple course of Buhlow, then we switched over to the gold course. We did this because of the flooding up there. It's just,
That's still good though.
it was much easier for us to just switch over and finish this course and avoid all the high water. Now this tree, everybody seemed to be hitting that tree out there today. This hole is 214 feet, it's a par 3. All you gotta do is maneuver these trees, which nobody seems to be able to do.
Tree tearing us up.
Kanan was able to make it through there. A little low shot, but I made it further down the fairway than anybody else. Mine kind of just hooked right and never really gave itself a chance. Jake really aired this one out. Not what you want to do on a windy day. Hayden with a really easy upshot there. With that overstable heavy mid-range, and I always tell myself, give it more mustard than you think you should. And I guess I forgot to tell myself that time because I left myself well short.
Oh, Scooby.
And Kanan with a really easy shot. His drive was better than I remembered. And I had really hoped I had made this one, but instead of wide right, I had a really weird angle to the left, but I missed that shot. Hayden with another easy par. So me and Jake are +3, Brandon +5, Kanan +6. Hole 13 is 529 feet. It's a par 4. You got this Mando right here. It's triple Mando. Got to go right through the middle of it, not too high, and then you cut over 90-degree angle, cross this little creek, and then you'll find the basket about 200 feet to the left. Now Hayden doesn't technically miss
got
the
in his
Mando.
head.
He just went really low and it carried over left. So he's still got a shot where he can go through the Mando because he definitely didn't go past it. Now Kanan went right through the middle of that Mando, did a great job maneuvering. Myself, not so much. I kind of do a little slip off the edge here, and my disc goes straight up. All I was thinking was keep it low, keep it low, keep it low.
That's
now,
a good. That's
pretty
exactly
good
where you
shot.
want to be.
It's just, it doesn't matter when you miss that Mando. Jake just barely misses that Mando. Brandon's able to get through it, hoping that this will flip up for him and he'll get a little bit more distance out of it. Hayden misses the Mando again.
Oh my God!
It sailed on me.
So we do a drop zone right under the Mando. You can pretty much choose wherever you want on there. We play it like that. I just make a terrible shot, go straight up, super light disc. Wrong disc choice for that shot.
Good,
way
safe
too
shot.
high. Jake made a really good shot, putting right at this gap over here. He's able to get through.
No warm up.
Brandon's able to tomahawk over the tree line
shot.
and take the route he was given. Kanan gets caught up in some of those trees over there. He's going to have a little bit more difficult of a shot. Jake makes a decent shot there. He's able to give himself a chance. Again, probably not in the position he wants to be.
Solid girl.
But it's definitely better than my position, which is way further back. And I had to shoot around. I had a little gap in this brush that I had to shoot from. My only choice was to get a really understable disc, put a lot of anhyzer on it, and get it high. And it carried, which is what I wanted to do, it just carried too far. Brandon with his birdie putt, he just goes the safe route, wants to get that par. Now, this is Hayden's sixth shot. He's going to get a triple bogey on that one. I went with my jump putt. I didn't really get the elevation that I needed out of that disc to carry it as far as I needed it to carry. Brandon gets his par. Jake gets his, I believe it's double bogey there. Puts Hayden +3, Jake +5, me +5, Brandon +5, and Kane +6. The Mando ended up being a real equalizer for us. This hole's 323 feet. It's a par 3. Kane just rockets this one right down the middle. He ends up right in those trees, right next to the basket. Just a perfect shot. Brandon, not so much. You've been seeing that same pass a lot with his forehand. He's putting too much anhyzer on.
This looks pretty
Jake
nice.
throws a pretty decent shot there. None of us are really close enough to have a really good look at a birdie. I slipped off the edge again there. I really got to cut back on that.
That was good.
Further off the tee pad. This is a pretty straight up shot. You'd rather be on the right side of those trees than on the left side. As you can see there, from the left side, you just don't have a clean look at that basket. Jake, on the other hand, has a real clean look at it. He's unable to connect with his birdie. I'm unable to connect with my birdie. Brandon gets his easy par. And Kanan's able to get his first birdie of the day. This puts Hayden at +3, Jake, Ryan, Brandon +5, and Kanan back at +5. Hole 15 is 328 feet. It's a par 3. You really just want to keep this one low. You want to go right. Those trees kind of just branch out, and the branches kind of go everywhere. So you just want to keep it low and get it in that pocket. Low, flat, and straight.
Come see me, Brandon. I think.
So I am focused on going low. Unfortunately, I just go too low.
That's good.
So it hits
Too
the
low.
grass prior to hitting the pocket I want to be in. I end up right where Jake's going to end up. We're real close to each other.
That head went through brutal.
We all did the same
The
thing.
wind was ripping here. A lot of headwind on this shot. None of us are able to manage it very well. Jake goes with this big jump putt, just straight into the wind, and it just pulls it hard.
Oh shit, you gonna get lucky.
I throw that heavy mid-range, thinking I'm gonna keep it low and maneuver that wind, and I just end up going way too high with it. Don't even give myself a chance to get under those trees. Kanan just not happy with that shot.
Good shot.
And Kanan's going to give that birdie right back with this bogey. And I'm going to bogey it too. I mean, with the Mando a couple holes back, it really got us much closer than we should be, really. We've all got a shot to win this right now. Hole 16 is 343 feet. It's a par 3. We got road to the left and a pretty clear path going slightly uphill to the basket.
I mean, it's hard to throw into.
What we do here is go back.
Kanan throws a really good shot here. He's able to maneuver the wind, or manage the wind well. Just kind of ends up probably about halfway up the hill that he wants to be up. Jake throws a decent shot as well. Just unable to get the distance. He's not really a 350 thrower. He's a 280 to 300 thrower. I slide right off the edge again. I thought I was going to hit those power lines for a second, but You know, with this wind, I'm just not able to get the distance I need, and I'm just a 280, 300-foot thrower in this wind as well. Hayden throws his way too high and ends up on that road on the left of it. We haven't been playing OB all day, so we're not going to start now. He's able to throw a pretty decent shot, just left himself a little too short.
Not bad.
Jake with his long jump button, way off to the right. And I'm pretty much the same, but mine just is lucky enough to roll right under that basket. Hayden, tough break there. Another tough break for Jake. Hayden able to connect, Jake able to connect. Ooh. Yeah, Brandon really needed to make that one. So we're +5, +5, +6, +6, and +7. Very close. Hole 17 is 170 feet. It's par 3. They kept saying anything could change on hole 17, and when I walked up to it, I knew what they meant. There's a really small window. You kind of see those two trees marking it. It goes through there, to the right, then back to the left. You really got to throw the perfect shot to manage it. Brandon's unable to. Kanan's unable to. Now, when I release this shot, I think I've done it. I'm going right down that path, but I throw it a little too high and it hits one of the twigs hanging down and it drops in the middle of that path. At least I've got a decent look at it. Now, Hayden just airs it home. It kind of straightened out there. It didn't go back left like I'm sure he wanted it to, but it was just a really good shot. And Jake, the same thing. His ended up going left. It just got caught up in like a tree before it made its way to the basket. But they were two good shots. Kanan really unable to do much with that. Brandon throws a really good shot here. That's that worked out pretty well for him. My shot is terrible. You can see I just hook it and hold on to it way too long and it goes to the right. But I had a decent look at it. At least to get that par, but I'm going to end up with a bogey on this one. Kanan just gets a really unfortunate roll at the end there. This is Jake's birdie look. And he's wide right again. Brandon's able to save his par. Hayden's birdie look. Unable to connect again. And Kanan with another bogey, and myself with a bogey as well. So me, Jake, and Kanan are +7. Brandon and Hayden are +5 as we go into hole 18 in the epic East versus the West battle. Hole 18 is 170 feet, par 3, going up this hill. You got to manage this path. So it kind of goes to the right and then cuts left. Trees up and down the path. When I saw Jake shoot this shot, I thought I was done. I mean, it is just a perfect, beautiful shot on 18. I know he's happy to see it. Hayden throws a great shot as well. So it's gonna. I guess he hit a tree and bounced it in. I thought he made it all the way on his own, but he got some help from some trees down there. Kanan hits. He just turns too early, hits one of the trees, and kind of goes deep into the woods. I throw a decent shot here. It just didn't turn early enough. I guess I put too much.
Expect us to be
too much power on it for that short hole, and it just couldn't get that turn I wanted. Kanan unfortunately finds more trees. Brandon throws a really good shot here and is able to get through that window. He's going to be able to save his par. So as long as Hayden doesn't hit a birdie on this hole, which he does not, him and Hayden are going to end up with a tie for the lead.
Good shot, B.
Now we missed my putt, but I didn't make it. Jake didn't make his, so me and Jake end up tied. Hayden and Brandon end up tied, and Kanan's just one stroke behind us. And that's how the East and the West ends, right there.
All right, guys, y'all are at the top today. How do you feel, Brandon?
I think we all played bad. We just played less bad. I think Hayden and I didn't have any short missed putts. I know Jake missed one for about 12 feet. That hurt him. None of us drove well in the wind. Kanan probably had the best drives. But, you know, it always feels good to beat Jake. But in the end, representing the East got the win.
Okay, so early on you seem to be struggling. You seem to finish strong. What do you attribute to that? Just warming up?
Yeah,
weather not being so cold?
Yeah, it was cold, but I think the wind, I was playing bad regardless. The wind brought y'all down to my level, and I just had better mid-range game. I threw one in with the 8-2 from about 150, and then I put it pretty decently.
Okay, Hayden, you projected you and Brandon 1-2 at the top. Kind of happened that way. You know, how do you feel about not being in the #1 spot by yourself?
That's fine. I think, you know, I came out here really to represent the East. I think the East was represented pretty well. I don't know why Brandon had to take a shot at Jake earlier, but Jake, well, I think did y'all tie? Is that right?
Yeah, we tied.
But I mean, having the East in the 1-2 spot, and then or 1-1. And then Jake being tied, so I'm just happy the East came out and played.
Did you expect anybody in the West to tie anybody in the East?
No, I thought Jake would beat you by a couple of strokes, so I was a little surprised there.
I thought Kanan would beat you. I mean, you just don't have enough reps. You don't have the pressure. You know, it's different putting when you're playing solo, and then we got Jake behind you watching you.
Well, you saw the results. What do you think now?
You got raw talent. You need to get a forehand to get out of trouble, but backhand's impressive.
Jake, you tied with me today. I'm from the West. You're from the East. That can't feel good.
This is a group thing. Your half, you know, got scared or something didn't happen and they weren't able to show. That's not my fault. The East came out, did what we said we were going to do, dominated. You got in your car, drove 5 hours. The West lost, and the East took care of business.
You're kind of dodging the question. We're talking about you, your personal play. You tied with me. I had just started playing November competitively. That's when I bought my first disc.
This was a East versus West, not Jake versus Ryan event.
But I understand that, but the question is, how do you feel about the way you play today?
Personally, I'm not happy with it. But like I said, this was not a Jake versus Ryan. This was a East versus West, and we came on top just like I thought we would and said we would.
Where do you think, prior to the event taking place, where would you have ranked yourself in the group?
#1, and I'd still rank myself #1.
And you tied for second after Mellons and Hayden.
Yeah. I had a bad day. You had a good day. And
I wouldn't call it a good day. I just had an average day.
And
wasn't a great score. You know, I left some putts out there. I left some shots out there. Didn't really make anything I shouldn't have made. You know, just solid drives.
Just a good day for Ron. I understand. But like I said, 2 things happened. East won, and I didn't play very well, and that's really it.
I think it's important to remember that, yeah, the East did come out on top today. But we are at y'all's home field that y'all play more than any other field. You know, y'all
and the East will be coming into the West, and
I hope so. But every time we invite you,
when we come,
every time we invite you, oh, that's too far. We can't do that. So y'all sit over here in Louisiana. Y'all play y'all C-tier tournaments. Y'all play y'all's Buhlow Park. And that's it. Y'all don't want to get out of y'all's comfort zone. When can we see y'all step out of the comfort zone, come to the West, play a course you're not familiar with?
You'll see it shortly. You're going to see it shortly.
Can
the East versus the West is going to be the same thing. Same story.
Can I get a guarantee that y'all are going to come to the West, play at our courses, make the trip, sleep in not your bed, and play us fairly?
The East is going to go to the West and beat the shit out of them, just like we beat the shit out of them today, and that's a guarantee.
Don't fucking end
That's how you end it.
Okay, we'll end it there.